right, I just quickly want to give you guys a, systematic approach to, if it'll open up here, a systematic approach to economic development planning. So, give you some steps. Like you say, I talk about economic development planning. We kind of went through the theories of what is economic development planning, why would cities do it. But this is, if you're actually an economic development planner, what are the steps you would take? Um, First, you would do a needs assessment. This is to decide the purpose of the program um, and be clear about your goals. So, the goals of economic development planning are almost always, these two things. One, to provide additional employment opportunities, or number two, to strengthen the tax base. So you need to be clear about your goals. So, for example, if the goal is jobs, okay, this promoting additional employment opportunities, we need more jobs. Is your goal just to increase the total number of jobs that your city has? Or is it important for you to increase a certain type of job? So that's the first thing, is to really look at what the needs of your community are going to be. All right, moving along. The next thing is you're going to want to do a market evaluation. Now, this is an objective analysis of your strengths and weaknesses, the municipalities, the city's strengths and weaknesses. So, what this means is you're going to look at things like the wages, the average wages in the area, the availability of labor. Like if you're a firm looking to locate somewhere, the availability of labor force of workers. You're going to want to do an assessment of taxes, land, the construction costs, utility rates. Um, you are also going to want to look at the existing commercial and industrial establishment, what's already there. And then there's going to be all these kind of quality of life items. So what you're going to do is, like, it would be making a list of strengths and weaknesses. This market evaluation, this objective analysis of what is your city good at and maybe what is it lacking in. So once you do that, you're going to be able to target your marketing efforts towards the type of firms that would want to locate to your city. If that makes sense. So maybe in class we can go through some examples. But the next step, moving along, is you're going to want to do an assessment of the consequences of a development policy. Now, what this means is that any economic development is going to have a fiscal component. It's going to involve new revenues and expenditures. So you're going to want to anticipate and plan for these. You're going to want to look at how your policy, how your program, is it going to affect something like traffic flow? The environmental quality, what effect is it going to have on housing markets, and different aspects of community life. So you're going to want to kind of think about your program and really kind of anticipate and plan for how it's going to affect all these other kind of functions of the city. Okay, the next step is to formulate your plan. A plan formulation. So a plan can include the following elements. You're going to have an advertising and marketing program. You're going to want to plan for the use of these financial incentives like subsidies, low interest loans. You're going to want to take into consideration the cost of site acquisition and development. That could be part of your plan, is to offer this financial package. You are going to want to have a program of capital investments. I mean, maybe it's not every plan needs to have these elements, but one of the elements is a program of capital investments in water, sewers, roads, other facilities necessary to support industrial and commercial development. This would be like if you wanted to have a capital investment program in order to put like these high-speed fiber optic networks throughout the city, so that you could have all this wireless kind of networks throughout the city. That's kind of more of a progressive and newer type of infrastructure development rather than just the water, sewer, road. All these kind of big infrastructure that you might want to invest in order to attract economic uses and promote economic development. And then just another example is you want to probably have a land use element. So this is back to our land use controls and our zoning. This could mean adjusting the zoning to be more adequate for commercial development, or it could mean purchasing land for future economic development, this type of land banking kind of thing. All right, let's move along. So really, that's actually kind of it. This is just a recap of just a few steps we talked about. You're going to want to do a needs assessment. a market evaluation. You're going to want to assess the consequences of an economic development program or policy. You're going to want to formulate your plan, and then the final step you would want to do a plan review and update. Kind of review how it is and update it. So that is it for your systematic approach to economic development. Okay. As soon as I figure out how to exit out of here, you guys are free to go.